Guys played hard, man. That's what it's all about. You play hard and you see what happens. We did that tonight. As short-handed as we were, we had opportunities to win that game. That's all you ever want. I told you. I could see it coming a mile away. My inner Gunderson right here. You see that eye?
Oh, that third eye is burning.
Chauncey walked
in.
And he went, ooh, it smells like CJ ain't playing. It smells like CJ ain't playing.
It don't smell like doo-doo butter. Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Jack Ramsays postgame show. Danny Marang, Brandon Sprague. Blazers lose, and yet we're like, it's not bad because it just didn't suck less.
How's the season going? Guys, we're 25 games in. We had a feel-good loss. Good job, Neil. Good roster.
Oh, my God. Blazers fall 102-90.
I think we're collectively all laughing at this point, aren't we? Aren't we all just at that point? We're like, it is what it is. We know what it is.
I think that's dawned on more people than not, I think, at this point in time.
Well, some people might be doing some mental gymnastics to tell you it was Terry's fault, but no, it's like two other people's faults, but it might be the new coach's fault, but we're not sure if it's the new coach's fault.
There's a lot of different ways to that people are trying to justifying it. Danny, did you see my tinfoil hat post on Blazers Edge? It mirrored your Billups Olshey cancellation. No, I haven't seen it yet, but I'll see if I can dig through and find it. Sprague and I tested out the live stream stuff for Wednesday night, and it's very cool. Sprague was digging it. He's like, oh, this is fun.
I think we might get arrested. It's that dope of a website.
Yeah.
It's so dope. It's incredible. Wait till you guys see it.
We'll talk about that more towards the end of the show, and then obviously pregame against the Warriors. But what do you think, dude? Moral victories? Are moral victories allowed right now?
I mean, look, I will never tell any fan how to fandom, but I'm not one that really cares about moral victories. I don't get a lot from them. I know that sounds weird. I'm an Oregon State fan. You think I would, but when it gets to pro sports, man.
That's the difference, is that.
Like, Jay-Z said it best, man, moral victories are for minor league coaches. Chauncey can be happy about this one, but, like, they still lost the game. You dropped another game. You're now, 3 below 500, and it feels like at this point with the injuries and kind of just the vibe, the free fall will continue until something is made.
The beatings will continue until morale improves.
Well, who's their next? Oh, it's the Warriors Wednesday. I mean, they're going to get absolutely foam raced in that game, bro. We might have to set the point spread, not even a point spread. We might have to set like an over.
It might be
an over under, Danny, an over under number of how much they lose by. I might set that at like 20.
I think if you put it at like 18, 17 and a half, that'd be a tough number.
Because Steph's not going to play the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'd say because garbage time fourth quarter, that gets a little bit weird. Shelvin Kumar, this was a moral victory, lol. We learned CJ sucks the energy out of the team. I mean, listen.
We learned a lot today.
I don't know if you can say it's definitive, but
really,
but
really,
I think it's
that group should have beaten that. I mean, the Clippers, I get it.
No,
they struggled,
no.
There was a Paul George out there tonight.
Yeah, and even he just was kind of meh. He's
right.
Going to be walking through it. The Clippers are in a weird place right now.
Yeah.
And no, I don't think they should have won tonight. But they I'll tell you this. Jusuf Nurkic. Let's start with Nurkic because he had a great box score game, man. He finished damn near everything. Got a little too high on his own supply. That's rule number one. Can't do that. He started getting really cute in the fourth quarter, but other than that, I thought his footwork, I thought his control, I thought his decisions on the block were probably like an 8.5, 9 out of 10. About as good as it gets. But he did kind of go sideways a little bit towards the end of the game there. And actually, I think he both had them in a position to be in the game and also kind of tank the ship.
Yeah.
In the final couple minutes, too.
I mean,
so
it wasn't in a position to, he did.
Yeah, Norm cooled off a ton. Cove,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, couldn't hit anything. I thought he tried. I thought he did. Like, his box score, if you take away his shooting, 10 rebounds and assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. I'm seeing some people like killing Cove right now. Cove gave a damn tonight.
I thought he put some good pressure and some good, defense in Paul George's face. It's kind of what his season's been, right? I mean, he's been somewhat useful on defense, but largely really struggled offensively. Norm had a couple bad sequences there too. Fell coming off that back pick, and then he had that, I don't know what happened on that pass, but he sailed that thing way out.
Okay, so for all those times when I sit here and go, listen, I love Norm, or I love Nurk, but
Sure.
you're seeing the shortcomings of like why they can't be like a number 2 or a number 3. They're better as being like a number 3 and a number 4 in your pecking order.
Yes. Yeah.
Like high usage, like super high usage. Norman Powell, 24 shots. That's a bit much. There's only so many guys in the NBA that can eat up shots like that regularly. Damian Lillard is one of those guys. And that's not like a shot at Norm. That's just the difference between superstars, stars, and really good players. I thought Norm was really good most of the night. If you take away his threes, he was 2 for 8 on threes. So he's 8 of 16 on his twos. And his ability to get downhill turned into 8 free throws. Nurk got to the free throw line because the Clippers are dumb, apparently. The fouls on Nurk were just maddeningly awful. I didn't understand what they were trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
But other than that, Nance is the only other player that got to the line, let alone got more than 1 free throw. So you're kind of seeing the structure of the NBA on full display. You got to be able to do, like, they only had 2 guys who could really dribble tonight. Maybe 3? If you want to say Nance. I'm just saying.
Our dribble handoffs dribbling.
Well, he could put the ball on the floor in a mismatch. I'm not encouraging it, but I'm not terrified of it. It's like, oh God, not Larry Nance. Like Tony Snell puts the ball on the floor. I'm going, shit, please no. Like Nance does it. You're just kind of like, well, there's probably a better option tonight. There wasn't a better option.
I mean, it's the equivalent of having Mo Harkless in that position to me.
Step above Mo. Like,
no.
Yeah, no. Nance's handle's better than Mo's, 100%. But I mean, we're splitting hairs.
We are splitting hairs.
Steve Scissors says 8 free throws for Norm is like a month's worth for CJ. You're not that far off.
Wasn't he at one point like the worst at that in the league?
No, he.
What is it? What's the stat you have?
Since 1970.
Yeah.
He is the worst free throw generator of any 20 point per game scorer.
Golly, man.
So in 51 years, 52 years, if you want to get cute, since the inception of the Trailblazers, to be more specific, he is the worst free throw generator of any 20 point per game scorer.
I like that you threw the creation of the Trailblazers into this stat.
I was just like, you know what? Since 1970, so it's the same damn thing. Somebody says Derek Jones Jr. at first for Nance is not looking that great. Listen, Nance has been fine. Nance is an optimizer. He's not a ceiling raiser. Like he's just a connector. He just makes stuff better and easier for everybody else. But if the guys around him suck, then it's
right.
Like there's a reason like the bench unit has just been smooth and efficient and good. But if he doesn't have other guys around him that can play off of him, it's fine. Overall though tonight, I liked Nurk's energy. I liked his aggressiveness. A little weird on the rebounding category. I'm not really frustrated about the playmaking. I thought you and I, when we were doing our test commentating, Nurk actually was diming guys up pretty damn good.
Yeah, he was having a good stretch there when we were doing that test.
He made the right read. Let's talk about that real quick. That sequence where you and I were doing that little test, that was like third quarter?
Yeah, it was about like 4 or 5 minutes in the third quarter.
Yeah. So Nurk is one of those things. Nurk is one of those guys where when he starts cooking, it's good. It's like, oh, I like that. That makes sense. It's very emotionally motivated. And like once he gets a little bit of swagger, it's like, okay, that's nice. So he had the little dump pass, had Hartenstein on the block, started to drop step, and then just kind of just furballed it. And it was one of those probably 3 or 4 possessions tonight where like, what are you doing, man? You got Hartenstein on you. You got 70 pounds and 3 inches.
Yeah.
But then he makes the right read on a dribble handoff, a reset play, and the defense completely falls off. He takes a 13-foot mid-range flat footer, which on most nights when you've got Dame, CJ, Nas, Ant, like you've got that shot's not really there for him. And if it is,
I'm still okay with him shooting it. It was just like the way he shoots, he's so flat-footed when he shoots that jump shot.
No, and this thing is like, because all of those other creators are gone, like that's a good shot tonight.
Right.
And so I think that like where him knowing that like you can't go anywhere else for offense tonight reflected very strongly in his game.
Yeah.
Like I think some people thought I was like bashing Nurk when I said, do you think Nurk's a little more motivated tonight? It wasn't a shot at Nurk.
Well, also, yes, I do. I do think when Nurk gets more touches, he tends to be a different player.
Nurk like Paul.
Yeah. What's wrong with saying that? I feel like it's pretty obvious when we watch him.
Well, I think it was one of people were like, "Oh, you just don't like Nurk or something." Like that. I'm like, no, guys, it's. I saw a comment in here a little while ago. Problem is, once Danny gets his mindset on who he likes, it's set, and it's like they can do no wrong. Anybody who's ever heard me talk about this team and these players, even Anfernee Simons, knows that's not true. There's just not a lot of guys on here that, you know, I
think you just have higher bars for certain players than maybe most people.
If you're still on your rookie contract and you're not a top 5 pick, I don't expect you to have a lot of impact until year 4. That's kind of a rule. And once you get your second contract in the NBA, and once you get your first real like $20 million a year
your
contract,
deal, yeah,
that's when I start going. That's when I start getting super critical. That's like, okay, like you didn't have it tonight. In the in-between guys, and I think these are the guys that swing regular season games more than anybody, Covington's, Nurkic's, Morris's, the Morai. Those are the guys that I think impact your seasons a ton because you don't get the consistency as you get from the top-end guys, and that's what's different.
Yeah.
But overall, good Nurk game tonight.
Good Nurk game. I thought he still like
left some out there.
Look, here's this thing. He has this weird ability to give you a night like this, but it still comes with baggage. Like he makes boneheaded plays on the defensive end. He maybe has a couple bad possessions offensively, and then he does something stupid at the worst possible time.
You know, like keep your elbow up above your eyeballs.
Elbow a player in the throat and give him
to a guy who's been giving you a little bit of bullshit over the last couple games.
So you give him 2 and 1, and it's just like you're sitting there watching this going, dude, you've had such a great game. Why did you allow this collapse to happen? That's where my criticism of him comes in. And outside, and along with what his fit has been with this team, because I don't think it's been a good one. So,
somebody else, I'm blowing your cover here.
What do you mean?
Hold on, where'd it go? I saw the comment in here. Oh man, there it is. Eduardo Tovar. Anyone reading Dame's shirt to see if there was anything cryptic? Brandon?
Danny, would you like to tell the people what we talked about?
Brandon,
brought up.
Brandon, what was on Dame's shirt tonight?
So. Thank you. This is the community I want to be a part of, where we all notice this dumb shit.
Hold on. Yeah, here we go. Go on, Brandon.
So the piece comes out today. Sharania, or Shams.
Shams.
I've heard it both ways forever. I'll go Shams. Shams and Sam Amick write this Damian Lillard Blazer piece. Hey, they fired Neil. What's next? And it goes into Dame and how he's feeling. And it basically hints that Dame is ready for some roster changes. And it goes to Dame would love to play with Ben Simmons. I'm paraphrasing, but it says that he'd like to play with Ben Simmons. Not shocking to anybody on this podcast. And, that indicates major change. Well, if you trade Ben Simmons, Danny, who would you likely trade?
Interesting. What is that insinuating?
Christian James McCollum would obviously be a part of that because he can go get a bucket and he can still distribute the basketball and shoot it. So my hunch is this piece comes out, Dame quote tweets it saying, "Oh, you MFers, you love the drama."
Love the drama.
Even though we know this league talks, like even if you don't directly say it, we know you're talking.
This league is worse than any high school group text.
Oh, it's messy.
It's the messiest of professional sports.
It's the
and it's
movie
not close.
Mean Girls on steroids, bro.
It's not even close.
Everybody has a goddamn journal in this league, and nobody wants to know what's in that journal.
No.
And here is the theory. Dame Lillard has all this noise. Oh, Dame wants CJ gone. So Dame Lillard says, I'm going to show up and I'm going to make a statement with a shirt.
It's always on the stupid T-shirts.
It always is. And that shirt, Danny, reads, all love. All love. You're not going to go at a guy wearing a shirt that says all love and go, bro, what the F? All love. Very good way to keep people away.
Listen, I tweeted it out earlier. Thank you to all of the 37 of you that sent me the picture of Ben Simmons liking Dame's IG post or the Bleacher Report IG post.
I don't really buy that those mean anything. I think those guys just get.
Did you see what I retweeted it as?
No.
I took that picture and the "Do you like me? Yes, no, maybe" note. They're the same thing.
That's great.
But
I love that.
Listen, I love that Ben is aware.
Yes.
I love that Ben's like, oh, thanks, sweetheart. But for those wondering, it was a Bleacher Report on IG. It's the one that says Damian Lillard wants to play with Ben Simmons, and it was liked by Ben Simmons. So I simultaneously like and dislike the fact that they got rid of the ability to check people's likes.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that either.
I don't like it, but anytime I found one that was particularly spicy, like when Joel Embiid, who was he trolling?
Oh,
God. Was it Drummond? I think it was Drummond.
Was it Drummond or Cat? I think you're right. I think it's Drummond.
I think it was the first time that him and Drummond got into it.
Yes.
But he was just going through and liking anything shitting on Big Penguin, and it was hilarious. I don't know. Normally I'm just like, it's whatever. But Joel's pettiness is always just, I just love it. It's great. Let's talk about the other guy who was good tonight, man.
Okay.
Norman Powell.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody. I've seen some people say that Nurk has been the Blazers' best player this year, and I disagree.
What?
Because Norman's had one game where he didn't perform.
Ooh.
And that's it.
Yeah, that
was the Raptors game.
I gotta be honest with you, man. Not like really upsets me, but like that does kind of frustrate me. We really are running with Nurk's been their best player this year.
I think some people have seen some box scores and been like, it's just Chauncey holding him back, and it's like, guys,
stop.
We've seen Nurk in 36 minutes. Like,
stop.
It gets messy. It gets bad. No.
I don't even think Nurk's been the second best player on this team.
No.
I would give it to Norman Ant before
honestly, that's where I was going to go.
I don't get that. That he's kind of one of those guys though. Like his numbers.
When Nurk's numbers are good, they're really good.
I know it's hard to argue. Like I can't remember the game off the top of my head, but he had a game this year where I think
almost
he
had a
finished
5x5.
Maybe, but yeah. I think he had like 18 and 14. And I remember you saying it, and I was kind of like, man, that did not feel like an 18.
No,
and 14.
He's had some monster box score nights.
He has Whiteside games.
Yes. And I think the big part of that was how far away from the rim that he has been defensively this year. So he can't. Yeah. More often than not, he's not getting close rebounds. He's not getting blocks. He's getting more deflections, but don't show up in the box score. So, Eric says Nas has been the best, and I think Nas.
Okay, that's fine.
I think Nas has given great effort, but I think he just hasn't. He's too far down the pecking order to contribute enough.
But I think that's the point, though. Like, I think there's a lot of people that would push back on that Nurk is the best player.
And I've seen that from probably about a dozen different people in comments and emails and texts, and it's all, I'm always like, Nurk hasn't been bad. I think when I talk about Nurk, I think people all they hear is the negative instead of like the 5 minutes I do leading up to it. Like his footwork is great. He's a fantastic rim protector. Does all these things. Mm-hmm. And then beyond, it's like, but I mean, tonight, again, 10 of 24, not great, but getting to the free throw line. The one assist, again, doesn't really bother me because, let's see, I think only two players had more than one assist, and that was Snell and Smith tonight. The ball, like, it's just not popping because you don't have enough guys who could dribble.
Well, you kind of get forced into situations like that, and I really don't know what to expect from the team.
No, and exactly.
You know what I mean? They're too vulnerable.
And they kind of staggered the way they had to do things. McCollum picking up an injury and another guard going down was ridiculous.
How many injured is that right now?
Well, Dame, Ant, Nas,
CJ,
Ben is 4, and Norm.
And Norm's basically banged up playing through it.
He's got a broken nose.
Yeah. Well, and I bet you that knee hasn't felt great. It doesn't feel great when
he
you
hasn't
play
had
out.
a day he hasn't had like a day off in a while.
Right.
Trying to think. Cov's not playing with his mask anymore. I don't think Nance has any nicks. Zeller's still got the fractures in his face.
Yeah.
So just about everybody's beat up. Like Cov might legit be the healthiest. As crazy as that is.
And he just took his mask off.
He just took the mask off, I think, 2 games ago. So. When I look at tonight's game, I thought Dennis Smith Jr. did yeoman's work as far as like, hey, you're going from third, like real point guard, like deep point guard, to starting 13, 7, and 6, 6 of 11. I thought the shots that he missed, I bet you all of them were layups that he rushed.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, that kind of felt like that.
And you and I were talking about this when we were doing that little test. It looks like because he's lost that burst that he had that he came in with his rookie year, sometimes he gets a little bit caught like, it's not there. It's not there.
Well, but here's the thing with DSJ, man. Like, I feel like teams knew that going into it. And so I don't know if that's surprising Portland by any stretch. It's just tough to watch because, like it or not, he's kind of in a position where he's valuable to what they are right now.
Yeah, no, they need him big time.
And he at least, I'll say this for him, at least, you know, he finished one of those at the end. The too little, too late thing, but
yeah, but overall, decent floor game. You could hear Chauncey and Lamar was really pushing that, like, attaboy Dennis, attaboy D.
Yeah.
Go get him, Smitty. And
it just, I mean, Danny, it's
a vibes
obvious
check
to me.
I mean,
it's obvious to me, and it's obvious to everybody else, is it not?
It's a vibes check of like, hey, let me make sure I say this loud enough where CJ McCollum hears me talk to Dennis Smith Jr. about keeping the ball moving and keeping everybody involved.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, yikes. That's tough.
Answer me this. This is the weird thing. They lost the game, and I can't believe I'm asking this. Does a guy like CJ watch this game tonight and have any takeaway, or is it just like, oh, I'm here and that was the game?
I had probably 4 or 5 people text me and say that they didn't see CJ engaged. I wasn't looking for it. I didn't care, to be honest. But I
really wasn't either. I knew he was sitting behind the bench.
I found it funny that a lot of people were like,
that's a weird time right now. Story just came out suggesting that his backcourt mate of 7 years wants to move on.
He just wants to sit here and go, yeah.
That's not a new. I don't know. I just think it's they were put in a weird position this year, and now these stories are going to keep coming out.
And they went dumb with it. Yeah. For
like
everybody,
Simmons did 25 minutes on a national pod today, giving out should they trade Dame or CJ, and the trades.
Yeah, I saw that drop last night after we got done. I shouldn't say after we got done. After I got done editing, and I saw KOC drop that, and I'm like, I'm not listening to this shit.
Well, I'll say this: at least KOC saved a lot of it.
Yeah,
KOC was like, I don't think they want that.
Yeah, no. But I backed away a ton. There was a comment in here about the game tonight, as far as like the game not being bad or it not being a competitive moment. And honestly, I don't care tonight. This is when you're talking about how to salvage the season, and we hit about this on the mailbag pod. It's not about a game or two right now. It's about the long game.
Yep.
And so if you drop a game, 2, 3, 5 over the course of the next 15 games that you shouldn't drop, and you fall a little below, and it doesn't put the additional pressure on you to make a move like immediately, like as long as you're okay in that regard, then it's I think it's okay.
Yeah.
As long as you're making moves that matter long term. But if they're just trying to ride this out and kick the can past Christmas and make some minor moves to financially justify the existence of the the checks, it's like then you start to wonder what this summer is going to look like, and the time between February 10th and May 14th. the end of the, or excuse me, April 14th at the end of the season. That's going to be a long couple of months.
Well, I mean, have we heard any update on Dame?
They're going to reevaluate him in 5 days.
So how many more games? They got 2 more games next 5 days?
Yeah, and then they have the 3 days off.
Oh, okay. Their schedule up a little bit.
Yeah, no, it ends up being a total of 14 days off.
Do you think he's coming back anytime soon?
I think he's coming back after the reevaluation period. I think he's sitting these games out. That's why I kind of said 5 games. You know.
Yeah. Would it stun you if he sat longer?
Yes.
Really?
That would be surprising. So I don't know if I screw it. I heard Dame was going pretty hard in workouts today. So also Nas and Ant were both going pretty hard. Ant did have a noticeable little.
I was gonna say that's pretty remarkable because sometimes those sprained ankles
will dumb.
Linger.
Yeah. I had somebody send me video of Nas warming up the other night, and I was like, that looks a lot better than I expected that to look because his ankle blew up on him. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he really did that tweak. I
mean, he did it, and he felt fine, and he got on a plane, and it went.
Dude, that sound effect again. That was great. It was better the first time.
Oh, it's like a pufferfish.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, look, that could be great news for them. I think we
getting a guy who gives a damn back on the roster. Great
getting
for the
a couple
vibes.
Guys who give a damn on the roster, getting them back is relevant, especially the All-NBA guy. That'd be nice to have him out there. But I expected them to lose these games. You know what? If at worst you're 4 games under 500 when Dame comes back, whatever. You can deal with that. The West sucks. You can play your way into the 6 through 10 seed depending on how the season goes. So it's not all hope is lost.
Yeah. Tonight's game again, I didn't care about win or loss. It was win or lose. I just look at that and I was going to go, if they come out and the vibes are what they were or close to what they were against Boston or San Antonio with certain personnel being out of the lineup, then you know it's permeated the entire team.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's see how that goes. Let's see what happens here.
We're still in a position where at the end of the day, like we just heard the coach get
again,
excited.
For anybody who's coming here, got here late, do you have the quote still?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Sorry.
So we did a cold open to start the show of Chauncey's post-game quote, and it was the most predictable damn thing you could have imagined.
Yeah, he said, by the way, Norman Powell has echoed these sentiments. So Chauncey says, guys played hard, man. That's what it's all about. You play hard and see what happens. We did that tonight. As shorthanded as we were, we had opportunities to win that game. That's all you ever want. Norm added, I love the way we competed. I thought we played for each other. We were talking. I'm not happy we lost, but that's how we've got to be playing. What the difference in that was.
Apparently that didn't work. Let me try that again.
You think there's a mutiny coming, like where he just can't get into the locker room one day, and it's like
just card doesn't work? What is it? Is it Hard Knocks? Yeah, when they do cut days and
and a key fob don't work.
The key cut. I got cut, man. I got cut.
Hey, what if he came and he went to the locker room? It's like, this is a CJ man-hating boys club. You ain't allowed in.
Just straight up sign on the door. Saints taken. God.
There's caution tape in his locker, like in the front. He's got to tear down.
Just a box of leanings outside the door.
Chauncey comes in. Who are you?
just who? Don't you know who I am? I don't ever think about you. Okay, well, this is probably going a little bit too far, but it's just like that's like the vibes are just immaculately just significantly better when he's not around.
Those are eye-popping quotes from 2 people. That's all I'm gonna say.
Christ, I've seen a lot of people asking about this.
Yeah.
Chauncey also said he talked with Joe Cronin since Neil O'Shea's firing. Is hopeful they'll be aligned.
Yes.
on the direction of the roster going forward, which I feel comfortable saying this now. Chauncey, through multiple different times at ESPN, had both publicly and privately stated that backcourt needed to be broken up. So I think the alignment is a pretty safe line you can draw as far as, which way this is going to go.
I mean, you've got a guy right now going, man, my coach really said that about me, huh?
I don't even think he doesn't say that because he gets his respect on the 1st and the 15th.
Yeah, because he doesn't care about anything else. And then he looks over at his guy and he goes, bro, you're not going to stick up for me? The shirt just says, all love.
All love. It's all love, fam. I can tell where the season's at right now because everybody's just talking about Chet Holmgren and Poku in the chat. Like, draft Twitter is already taken over.
Do you buy, well, that Banchero kid is the real effing deal.
Well, yeah, 6'10", 250 can put the ball on the floor. That's pure unadulterated nightmare fuel. But Wembanyama is the goat.
He's the goat?
Yeah, no, he's truly special.
What about Chet?
I don't know. He's not. Everybody wants to compare him to KD, and because he's tall and skinny.
I don't see that.
No, he's different. He can put the ball on the floor. Like
KD could move better.
Yeah, Chet's a better defender.
We'll see.
But, I mean, more natural instincts. But KD was much more fluid athlete. I think people forget Texas KD was a cheat code. Like,
as a nightmare. I mean, the dude put the ball on the floor, you were cooked. He was either in a jumper in your eye or he was taking you in the lane and just dunking on you.
Human cheat code.
I watched him at Oak Hill his junior year. That team, by the way.
Who else was on that team?
Him, a guy who ended up being a really, really good college player, but he was undersized for his position, Jamont Gordon.
Okay.
And then they had Eric Devendorf, Ty Lawson.
That's right. I
knew
there was a little point guard on that team. I just couldn't remember who that was.
They had a big, and he ended up having a really good college career too. But he was playing the big spot on that team
because he was 6'10".
He was 6'10", but he hadn't quite figured out his body yet.
Oh,
so
he
they
was
had
a
him
rail too.
He was super skinny, but they had him playing like the forward position. He wasn't handling the rock. He wasn't doing any of that. Saw him the next year when he was at Monteverde. And he was an entirely different person.
Woof.
And then you went,
grew into his shoulders.
Shit, that's an NBA player now. And then he had to go to Texas for one BS year to go to the NBA.
Yeah, and be the best player in the country. Joey kind of hints at it, white men can't jump. I don't trust American-born white players. I'll say it plainly. If you're from Slovenia, from Bosnia, from Serbia, from Spain, listen, France. If you're a white boy from Kansas, nope. And don't give me that Kevin Love bullshit. That is one player in 20 years. I don't want to hear it.
Oh, that's not true. You're an absolute hater.
Who?
You're really going to... Okay, if we're being honest here, like, you got to call...
As far as, like, top college guys who translate to the NBA?
JJ Redick and Kyle Korver?
How many years did it take JJ to figure it out and become a role player? He was almost out of the league.
Come on. Now you're just hating.
No, but what he was in college.
Kyle Korver played till he was 40.
Against
buckets at Creighton.
Specialists.
Taking him to the
as
what?
specialists.
Now we got stipulations.
I'm saying how many white American-born players were up here in college and stayed there in the NBA?
Nico Mannion.
He actually looked really good at Hoop Summit. Really good at Hoop Summit.
He's got sneaky athleticism, but
it's just like it's a curse, man. Like there's a ton of specialists. Like somebody just said Doug McDermott, Luke Babbitt.
Dougie McBuckets?
Notice a trend in all of these dudes. What do they all do?
Did you just call Doug McDermott Luke Babbitt? You're so disrespectful right now.
Listen, do you know where Luke Babbitt
Luke Babbitt wishes he had Doug.
Do you know where he ranks in three-point percentage?
Yeah. Probably top 10, something
He's like
stupid.
12th or 13th. It depends on what day it is. But Babbitt shot the piss out of the ball after he left.
Get out of here. McDermott would have wiped the floor with Luke.
Oh, there you go. Trox has got one. Tyler Harrow. Harrow's going to qualify. But guys, I'm not talking about white players all time. I'm talking about.
He's from Milwaukee, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It's just kind of funny. People are like Larry Bird, Chris Mullin. It's like, no. Last 20 years, guys.
Well, that's not fair.
What? The fact that the last 20 years there's been next to no one?
Give them time. Why you're shooting down all the white prospects?
I'm just saying they all do the same thing. They all shoot the 3-ball. It's like, when was the last time you had somebody that could put the ball on the floor? Like,
I mean, come on. Every white guy right now listening and participating can admit, you go to the park, if you play with black people, they're going to assume you do what? One thing only. Get in the corner.
What's funny is, like, even when I was in shape still, because I'm 5'11" and 240, people are like, oh, you're big. And I'm like, no. I'm a point guard. Like, what are you doing? Like
their handle's a little worse than yours, but they refuse to ever let you.
I cross over the dude that's picking them up in transition and blow by them, and it's like, hey man, let me get that. I'll bring it out. I'm like, no, this is mine. Which is funny because the one thing I really can't do is shoot all that well from three. So
that's funny.
Jake says Danny friendly fire will not be tolerated. And here's the thing: when you talk about American,
I know what's going on here. You just.
It's like there's a few wings, there's a couple guards that we've already highlighted, but when you get to bigs, it's just, and that is the reason. So I had
Steve Nash.
This is a huge, again, Canadian born.
Oh, where'd he play college? Get out of here.
He's still not American born.
Where's he been longer, America or Canada?
It's a cool
After
toss.
A certain threshold, you become American.
Hey, listen, Scalabrini's a GOAT, USC baby.
But he ain't. Woo!
Scalabrini will give buckets though too.
Bro, Drew Eubanks, really? We're going here?
Oh, there you go.
Come on.
But if you look at bigs, I have two rules really that I've kind of followed for years.
TJ McConnell, how disrespectful, bro.
I have two rules that I've followed for years if I'm like my GM hat. Don't trust Duke players, which has gotten softer over the last 4 or 5 years.
I think it goes longer than that.
No.
Elton Brand.
Okay. The span between Elton Brand and Kyrie, go take a look at that.
Oh, hold on. You're significantly downgrading a player that deserves more respect, and I wasn't a big fan of his.
Who?
Battier.
Okay.
Shane Battier was a good player.
No. Listen, I got nothing but love for Shane. The guy is a true student of the game. But
Trajan Langdon out here making big franchise
moves
exactly. Behind the scenes?
Yeah, exactly. Just great stuff as executives. That's what Duke created. They created guys who worked for insurance companies between those two guys. All of the one-and-done guys were a disaster out of Duke. All of the early lottery guys were awful. It all changed with Kyrie. That was when it started to go whoop. You had Kyrie, you had Tatum, Zion. Like, you just start going down the list. You're like, there's a lot of guys in there got really good. My other rule, never take American-born white bigs.
If you don't want to hit on the next Kevin McHale, franchise building blocks?
I don't want the combination of Kevin McHale, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Bill Walton.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it wasn't Bill Walton. It was Rasheed Wallace. I'm sorry, Neil. That was for those wondering. That was Neil Olshey's comp for Zach Collins.
I don't have a problem with that.
I love the fact that the entire chat is just like losing their mind over this now.
You just shot down every white player's hopes. Like,
hey, listen, man,
you
can go be in. And this isn't like everybody's like, oh, shots at Myers. No, it's not shots at Myers. Myers was a project big. If you go look at his prospect list, he was comped to Tiago Splitter. Like, it's such a weird world. You got anything else to say about this game? Because this has just been a fun, like, kind of both in the pregame and the postgame. And it's been less about the game and more just about random stuff.
No, I was happy to find out that Kevin Calabro enjoys a mean Reuben. That made me happy.
That and a lot of people had a lot of things to say about snakes.
Bro, can we stop with the playing snakes on television thing? Like, it's some funny thing. Like, there's a lot of people that have real fears of snakes.
Like, Brooke looked legitimately terrified.
we had a day in high school where we had like a lizard man or something come in, and he brought in like a snapping turtle, and this country motherfucker came in with all these animals, and he's like, and this is my snapping turtle, and he would put it right in your face like this, and this thing would just do this, and you're like, oh my, can you get this away from me? This dude came in,
and that is why you hate the Ninja Turtles.
I love the Ninja Turtles. I got them tattooed on my arm, but this dude really thought it'd be a good idea to come in with some big, ginormous black snake that maybe looked like a black mamba, and he's just holding this thing, and he's like, you just got to be careful with it. And this snake is just like looking at me like this. And I legitimately, I was over like this. I had nowhere else to go because there was a wall here. And I was crying. I was like, can you please get this away from me right now? And everybody's laughing. And I'm legit like crying. I fucking hate snakes, dude. They shed their whole body. How do they move? They don't even have legs. It just creeps me out.
Legs.
Just everything about him's off.
I was wondering, like, if I kicked that door open just a little bit, what was going to happen? And I did not see that coming.
I don't play with those things, man. I see earthworms and I get weirded out.
Oh, man. Acacia says there's evidence that some people are literally hardwired to fear snakes. I think you're one of them.
I don't know what it is, man.
I'm not
just the first time I saw
I'm not
one.
pro-snake. I'll tell you what, if I hear like, I hear that, I'm just looking for the sharpest object around. Like, I've eaten snake. Have you ever eaten snake?
I think I had a bite once.
It's tasty.
I didn't really want to dive in. I didn't want to build karma against myself.
Listen, man, if eating an animal is getting you karma against that animal, I am so screwed.
No, just that animal.
I've eaten probably a whole snake in my life, not like in one sitting, but like all in all. Not to like give like props to another restaurant not in the region, but you ever been to Papados?
Papados.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Seafood spot in Dallas, Louisiana.
Well, I hate seafood. So.
Oh, well, I know, but
I've also never been to Louisiana.
But they've got some other stuff too. But if you ever get a chance to, there's one at the airport, DFW. They give deep fried gator bites.
Oh, I like gator. I've had gator.
Okay, yeah, that's my sole purpose for going there. I get the deep fried gator bites every time I go.
Have you had bear?
No, I haven't had bear. I've had moose, bison, elk, buffalo.
Yeah. We went to Juneau, Alaska. They had
I've not had bear. I didn't know you could eat bear. Like,
oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I know you can eat anything you cook, but I mean, like technically, but I didn't know. It was a servable thing. Okay.
Yeah, it was like it almost felt brisket, like I don't know, what would you say?
Texture.
Like the texture.
Yeah, that
felt
makes
like
sense
brisket.
because you've got like even though bears are fat, you still like have like muscle mass.
Good muscle. Yeah. And some Oregon State fans one day, I was just chilling in the tailgate. They had it in their chili. I was like, this is good brisket. And I was like, this is really good brisket. Like, oh, that's bear. I was like, what? Okay. And he was like, I shot that thing last week. And I was like,
I bet you did, dude. Tater.
What's your name? Joe Bob. That's cool.
It's just, no, it's definitely one of those things where I look at it and I go, I'll try anything. Meat-wise, like survival school. Oh, yeah, no, I walked into that one. Survival school. Survival school. I had squirrel. I've had.
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when it's survival school, so you're out in the middle of nowhere, and whatever you snare, you eat.
That sounds like what Vietnamese chicken tastes like.
I don't want to know.
Vietnamese chicken, not great. In fact, I'll just be honest with you. All Vietnamese food is better over here.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, they don't add a lot of spices or flavor. It's just kind of.
No, they try. Yeah. They just don't have what we have, and their animals are a little malnourished than ours. Like we juicy ours up with
everything.
Steroids or something. Yeah, and their chicken's barely off the bone.
Thai food, Vietnamese food. Thai food's the clear winner there.
That's not true at all.
Really?
Nothing that Thai makes is better than a bowl of pho.
I love drunken noodles.
Drunken noodles are really good. It's not better than like some real. Have you ever had thin cut ribeye steak beef pho.
Yeah, that's pretty damn phenomenal.
Cilantro, onions,
okay,
little hoisin sauce, little sriracha, little black pepper, little lime juice. Oh!
It's just been a while. It's been a while. Speaking of being a while, we're going way too long, and you got to get the hell out of here. So, on that note, this is what happens when the Blazers are stuck in a weird place. We spend a little bit of time talking basketball, more time talking food, because we're just kind of killing time, trying to enjoy what we can, not crush the negative too much, keep it real, and
here's a positive. Tell them about Wednesday. What's going to happen Wednesday?
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to get to. Is we do have the live watch party. Sprague and I gave it a test tonight, and it went out awesome. We're really excited for you guys to take part in this. So the way it will go is we will do the pregame show. We will chill for a little bit. Sprague and I will launch the room, and I will post it probably with a few minutes left to go in the first quarter on the YouTube page. It will not be posted on Twitter. I will post a link or a note on Twitter saying go to the YouTube page, because we can only have people coming in who are members, because we have a limited amount of space of who we can have in there. This is part of a beta test, so it's not fully launched yet. But what you will see is a feed of the game. Once you can validate, you have the feed. And Brandon and I will be there calling the game like play-by-play. We'll take your questions at the same time. I think it's going to be like a Manning cast, but you guys can be a part of it. I think it's going to be really fun. I think it's going to be a really cool thing that we're going to be able to do between now and I think March. So I'm really excited about it. And as we do it more and more and more, Sprague may not do all of them. I gave him the option to take a break if he wants to get out for a couple quarters on a night. But I'm going to try and do as many of these as I can, just to kind of get a rhythm, get a feel, get more people involved. And that's kind of why I wanted to get the memberships up and going, so that you guys could have the opportunity to do as many of these as you can or as you want to. I think it's cool to help kind of grow the community. And then we'll kind of integrate those two things across on the Discord channel. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll wrap it up for here. Y'all have a great night. Blazers lose. That sucks. But
they fought hard. It's a good loss.
I hate that so much, but also at the same time, it's such an improvement that's like, yeah, no, you're right. So I'll take it. At Danny Marang, at Brandon Sprague, at Jack Ramsays. Like, rate, review, subscribe. Find us wherever you get podcasts. If you made it this far, please subscribe to the show if you haven't already. We are very, 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 very close to hitting, I think, 2,200.
Let's go, baby.
Like, it just blew past 2,000. We're at 2,200. Yeah, we're at 2,180 right now. Memberships, I'm seeing more and more of you guys signing up. Thank you so much. That just confirms that what we're doing is what people want, and in that level, we want to make sure we're making people happy and giving you guys the content that you want. So thank you. We appreciate you more than you know. We'll have some more stuff rolling out, and on one of the first contest giveaways, I'm going to go ahead and shout out my boy Evan M. Evan volunteered to send me some prints to give to you guys.
Oh, shit!
And Evan does dope ass artwork.
Yes, he does. The Anfernee Simons piece behind.
Yes, the Ants piece behind me is one that Evan actually gave me. So.
Did he do the Gary Trent one?
Yep.
Right behind your head? Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I've got a Gary. Evan gave me, I think, almost every print for my office. Like,
oh, that's dope,
yeah,
man.
He's the homie, right? I bought the Ant one, and he put all the other ones in there.
Oh, that's dope.
Abby Eichert, I believe is how you say your last name. She's the one who did the Gary Trent Jr. painting.
They're both sick. They're both sick art.
I saw that one. I was like, listen, I want to show people to get the plug the artists, and I'll have a bunch of it on display when we move into the studio. And Eduardo says, hey, remember, Timbers tickets are on sale at 10 a.m. Be a fun game. A little title town.
I kind of think I want to go to that game.
Listen, I would love to go. If I was not in Hawaii, I would 100% love to go.
There's not a game that night, right? Blazers?
I don't think so.
Well, you're going to be in Hawaii, so maybe who doesn't give a shit about that game? And then, thank you for that heads up. I think I might buy tickets.
Yeah, I thought about trying to get a press pass to sneak in, and I was like, I'll be gone anyways.
You bastard. It's getting right when it gets cold and wet, you're out of here.
Yeah. It's 80 degrees in Honolulu right now. So,
is that where you're going, Honolulu?
Just outside. Ko'olina. So, on the southwest coast.
Yeah.
So,
Ko'olina, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we're staying at.
Go to Leonard's Bakery if you can.
We'll put it on the list. Joey says, when you get in the studio, Danny, Depends on the surgery. So that's the other thing. I will find out tomorrow. I have the MRI follow-up. So lots of things going on. So thank you all so very much. Y'all have a wonderful night. We'll catch you on Wednesday. I will drop the link and all the other stuff that goes with it for the watch show, and we'll see what happens. Y'all have a good night. Take care.